Let's see the seventh problem now, wherein x of n is given, okay, and it's a discrete signal, mind you. And in discrete signal, for the first time, we're looking at something like 2 power n. What is 2 power 1? 2 power n, anybody remember this? What is 2 power n? 2 power n is the exponential. Understand that? This is an exponential. And since n takes the value from this range to this range, that means this particular function of n is actually defining the range of 2 power n. Understand this? Let me give you the information regarding the signal first. X of n is given, okay. 2 power n is the signal. Which type of signal is that? It is real exponential. Real exponential in discrete time. Fine. Now, if it is just 2 power n, we don't know this is 2 power n from where to where. Understand this? This n will take the values from 0 to infinity, or minus infinity to plus infinity, or this will take only few values, say from 1 to 10 or from 1 to 5. That is not told here, right? If it is just 2 power n, it will not be understood. So what you need to do is you need to take this particular signal which defines the range of this 2 power n. Okay, can you tell me what is u of n plus 1 minus u of n minus 4? Anybody would like to comment on that? So you have a signal, okay, so which is this? So what is this? This is 1. This signal is 1 from minus 1 to what? Minus 1 to plus 3. Everybody understand that? So this is the signal. Okay, since we have a signal which is 1 from minus 1 to plus 3, we can say that x of n ranges from, x of n is 2 power n for n ranging from minus 1 to plus 3. So therefore, you should understand this. Therefore, x of n is equal to 2 power n for n equal to minus 1 to 3, 0 otherwise. So this is something that one needs to understand from the given signal. If you want to sketch this and then see what is x of n, then it will take too much of time. Okay, that itself will take the time, and what they have asked to get this, you need extra time. So saving time by looking at the signals like this and understanding the signal like this is very important here. Get that point? So here 2 power n is the signal, and this unit step function, okay, is telling us from where to where 2 power n exists. 2 power n exists from minus 1 to plus 3, and it is x of n is 0 in the places other than minus 1 to 3. Is it okay with you? So let's draw x of n first. Now let's sketch x of n. Fine. So let's have the what? Y axis and the x axis. Okay. Fine. Like this. Now at minus 1, what is it? 2 power n. For n equal to minus 1, what is 2 power n? 2 power n is 2 power minus 1. Okay. And after it is 2 power minus 1, it is as good as we can say, like see here, you can just say at n equal to -1, it is x of n is 2 power -1, which is half. So this is 0.5. So at n equal to -1, x of n is 0.5. Let's write that here. So this is 0.5. At n equal to 0, what is it? At n equal to 0, it is x of n is 2 power 0. So it is 1. So let's have 1 at n equal to 0. Understand? Similarly, at n equal to 1, it would be 2. N equal to 1, it would be 2. N equal to 3 or n equal to 2 rather. At n equal to 2, it is 2 power 2, that is 4. Fine. At n equal to 3, now this is the last sample. So that is not coming straight. Okay, let's get it straight. Again, not okay. Let's adjust to that. Okay. Writing in this pen is not easy. You have to be really good with that, or you need to have a lot of practice. So I'm not able to get that right. No problem. Okay. So it is just a finite signal, mind you. It's a finite signal. Understand that? Where this 2 power n is ranging only from -1 to +3. So you're not doing any ... job here. No. It's only this much. This is your x of n when we sketch this. So what is that? Once we have x of n, let's go with sketching all this. Okay. So therefore, what is y1 of n? Y1 of n is shifting x of n to the right. Okay. So let's have this one below the other. Fine. So what we are doing is x of n minus 3, isn't it? So that is your y1 of n. Fine. So this is your first signal to be sketched. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of this? It is just shifting x of n to the right by 3 positions. To the right, mind you. Okay. It is shift x of n to right by 3 positions. Fine, this is what it is. So now we need to, this needs to shift 1, 2, 3. So the signal which is starting at -1 should now start at 2. So that means at 2, at -1, 0, 1, 2. At 2 you have 0.5. At 3 you have 1. At 4 you have 2. At 4 you have 2. So this is 0.5, this is 1, this is 2. At 5 you have 4. At 5, let's say you have 4. Okay. And this is 8 at 6. So this is what is your x of n minus 3 looking like. Okay, so this signal which is starting at -1 earlier would now start at 2 because we are shifting it to the right by 3 positions. So this is first, second, third. So when we shift it 3 times, so it will start from 2. Fine. Now what is y2 of n? Y2 of n is x of n plus 1. So the second signal that we can plot is y2 of n, and that is given as x of n plus 1. Let's just take this down. What is x of n plus 1? X of n plus 1 is shifting x of n to the left. Okay, so this is shift x of n, not u of n, x of n to left by one position. Fine. So don't see this now. This is all over. Now you have to take again this for your reference. You need to shift it to the left. Okay, so that means what would happen? So the one which is starting at -1 would now start at -2. Because here you have 0.5, here you have 1, here you have 2, here you have 4. Okay, then you have a sample of amplitude 8. So 0.5, 1, 2, 4, 8. So this is x of n plus 1, 0, 1, 2. So the one which was ranging from -1 to 3, after we shift it to the left by one position, it would range from -2 to +2. Okay, so the first two are quite simple ones. Now what is the third one that is given to us? Third one that is given is y3 of n. Okay, and it is given to be x of -n plus 4. Okay, so we need to have n plus 4 first. That means x of n plus 4 we need to have. Fine. Then we need to go with this. So let's keep this aside. So let's have this third one that we are seeing as what? y3 of n, and that is given as x of -n plus 4. So precedence rule says that first you get x of n plus 4, then you take the reflection of this. This is how the things go. So first you can just have that x of n with you, and that x of n, now you need to shift to the left by 4 positions. So let's have x of n plus 4 first. After having n plus 4, then let's n plus 4, isn't it? So n plus 4, now x of n starts from -1. See here, x of n starts from -1, so you need to left shift by 4 position. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you have here, you have -2, -3, -4, -5. So that means it should be starting at -5. Just for your reference, you can take this is -2, -3, -4, -5. So we need to shift it to the left by 4 positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it starts at -5. Okay, so that we shall write first. So you have 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Just remember the samples. Okay, this is how the samples would look like. This is 8, 4, 2, 1.5. So this is x of n plus 4. Okay, so this being n. Now we need to take the reflection of that. Fine. So how to take the reflection? Can you write the reflection, everybody? Write the reflection. I need this line one position down. Let's have that here. Yeah. So now if you take the reflection, the sample which is at -1 should come at 1, which is at -2 should come at 2, -3 will come at 3, whatever what is there at -4 and -5 will come at 4 and 5 respectively. So in that sense, okay, so we need to have this. This is the sample of amplitude 8, which would come at 1. Okay, then sample of amplitude 4 would come at 2, sample of amplitude 2 would come at 3, sample of amplitude 1 would come at 4, and sample of amplitude 0.5 would come at 0.5. So this is what one should understand. So this is what? This is our y3 of n, x of minus n plus 4. Is this okay with you? So this is the answer. Just mark the answer. So this is also an answer. This is the answer we have. This is the answer we have. But this is not the answer. This is something intermediate that we wanted. After having this, we have got the answer. Okay, just to tell that it is sufficient. Now, what is the fourth one? Fourth one is x of minus n minus 2. So precedence rule tells you that you need to have x of n minus 2 first, and then you take the reflection of that, that is x of minus n minus 2. Okay, so you can do this yourselves. Fine, this is what? This is shift what? X of n to right by 2 positions. Okay, and what is this? Reflection of x of n minus 2. So you do this yourself. Okay, so now let's move on with the next sketch. Everybody. Yeah. So in the next problem, we are asked to find out the even and odd parts of x of t, which is what signals it is real exponential, and this is decaying exponential because the scalar along with t is negative -1. So this is decaying exponential, and this decaying exponential ranges from where to where? It ranges from 0 to infinity. And who tells us that? This u of t is telling us that. And since we are asked to find out the even and odd parts, okay, we need to first write the equations for even and odd what parts like this. We have to take half of x of t, then we need to add half of x of minus t to this. So it's actually adding the signal and its reflection. It's subtracting the reflection from the signal, half of the signal. Understand that? So this is what one needs to do. Now, before going, let's understand this x of t as we did in the previous case. X of t is e power minus t into u of t. So that means this is what? Decaying exponential. Everybody should understand this is decaying exponential, and it ranges from where to where? It is 1 from 0 to infinity, right? So we can understand x of t is e power minus t, okay, for t ranging from 0 to infinity, or we can even write it as t greater than or equal to 0 less than infinity. We can write it like this, okay, and 0 otherwise. So this is how one needs to understand the signal. Okay, so let's sketch x of t plus first. Okay, so therefore let's sketch x of t. So I've told you x of t is e power minus t. Fine, and it's a continuous time signal, mind you. Okay, so let's have this y-axis. Fine, and e power minus t is decaying exponential, mind you, and decaying exponential does like this. This is decaying exponential. Okay, and since this is decaying, let's say, let's take this as 1. I'll write this signal a little differently. I'll take the range because 1 I want. Let this be my 1 for a change. Let this be my 1. Okay, so let my signal pass through this. So this is 1. Okay, and what is this? This is e power minus t. Okay, this e power minus t is being multiplied by u of t. That means this should extend only from what? 0 to infinity. Okay, so from 0 to infinity it should come, means what we need to do? We need to just consider the signal from 0 to infinity only. This is t. Okay, this is also t. Now the signal is this. It is e power minus t from 0 to infinity. So this is our x of t, which is e power minus t into u of t. This is just e power minus t. This is e power minus t into u of t. Is this understood, everybody? Yes? Or else, since we are all beginning it for the first time, let's just have another signal before this. Let's drag it down. Okay, and here let's have a signal u of t also, so that you will have clarity regarding what we're doing. So with this signal, what we're doing here, we are, let's take u of t, and that u of t is this, which is 1 from 0 to infinity. So if you multiply this signal e power minus t by u of t, this is what you're going to get. Understand that? So this is 1. Fine. And for sketching even and odd parts, we need to have half of this. Okay, so let's have half of this. So how to have half of this is this. So I need half x of t now. Half x of t is this. So this is 0.5. This is half x of t. Okay, and the 1 would now become 0.5. Fine. Then along with half x of t, what else do we need? Along with half x of t, we also need half x of minus t. So can you sketch half x of minus t? Half x of t is there. Can you sketch half x of minus t? See, it's the reflection. What is reflection? It is just this. Get this point? So this is half x of minus t, and this is also 0.5 only. This extends from minus infinity to 0 now, the reflection. Okay, so therefore, so if we take this as our first signal and this as our second signal, then what is x e1 of t? Can you tell me now, anybody? So how can we obtain x e1 of t? Therefore, x e1 of t is, everybody see here. On the left-hand side, you have 0 here. So this is performing first signal plus the second signal, because x e1 of t is half x of t plus half x of minus c. So you're adding the two signals. So see here, from minus infinity to 0, you don't have the signal. From minus infinity to 0, you have a half x of minus t. So what will remain if you add these two? You will have half x of minus t only. Okay, on the right hand side you have half x of t, but here you have 0. So if you add these two signals, you will get the same. Okay, so this is 0.5. Now sometimes there is this confusion. At 0 we have 0.5, here also at 0 we have 0.5, and if 0.5 and 0.5 is added, this is supposed to be 1. Sometimes that confusion will arise. Everybody's okay with that? Here we have 0.5, here we have 0.5. So if you add the signal at t equal to 0, it is supposed to be 1, but we write 0.5 because see here, this is the signal which comes and ends at 0.5. This is also a signal which comes and ends at 0.5. So we rather don't actually see at t equal to 0, but we see what's happening from minus infinity to 0 and what's happening from 0 to infinity. So if you take that analysis, so this is what you are supposed to be writing. So this signal comes and ends at 0.5. This signal also comes and ends at 0.5. See, so here you have nothing. Okay, so 0 plus this signal is the same signal which we have written here. Then this signal plus 0 here, we need to write the same signal. So that is what we have done. So let's not have the confusion by analyzing at t equal to 0. So it's not at t equal to 0. It's from minus infinity to 0 and from 0 to infinity that we need to analyze. Is that okay with you? So this is x even of t. So how to do x odd of t? How to get x odd of t? Yeah. So what do we need to do to obtain x odd of t? We need to do first signal minus the second signal, because it is for half x of t minus half x of minus t. Now again see these two signals. Fine. This is this signal minus this signal. Okay, from minus infinity to 0, it is 0 here. From minus infinity to 0, it is half x of minus t. So that means 0 minus signal is minus of the signal that we have here. So what is minus of this signal? So it is increasing here to 0.5. Now it will be decreasing here from 0.5. Everybody understand this here? So this is the negative of what is there. Fine. So this is minus of this. Understand? Because it's 0 minus this, right? So minus of this, what is what we need to write? So this is minus of this. So this is minus 0.5. Fine. Then this. Then here what you have? You have here you have a signal. The signal minus 0 would be the same signal. So the same signal I'll be writing here. Okay, so this is your x odd of t. So this is 0.5 again. So this is how we can draw the odd signal and the even signal. Fine. Yeah, in this problem, we have been given a discrete time signal, which is 8 into 0.5 to the power n into u of n. Fine. So what is this 0.5 to the power n? This is decaying exponential, mind you, because this is the base is 0.5, from 0 to 1 it is. So it's in between the range 0 to 1. So this is a decaying exponential, mind you. Fine. And the samples in the decaying exponentials needs to be multiplied by 8. And this particular x of n ranges from 0 to infinity. Okay. So here, this is decaying exponential. Fine. Then you have to multiply that decaying exponential by 8. That we shall do. Okay. And what is this telling? It is telling that x of n ranges from 0 to infinity. So this is 0.5 to the power n into 8. Okay. And it ranges from 0 to infinity is what you should understand. Fine. So let's go now. So first, let me have what? 0.5 to the power n first. 0.5 to the power n. Then let me have 8 into 0.5 to the power n. It would be easier since we are all beginners. Let's do that. So at n equal to 0, what should happen? At n equal to 0, what is 0.5 to the power n? It is 8, right? So let's take this as our, so let me take this as our 1. So anything to the power 0 is 1. Okay. Then 0.5 to the power 1 is 0.5. Let me write that 0.5 somewhere here. I'll not go with the scale because exactly half means here I was supposed to be taking. If this is 1, this is my 0.5 actually. But I'll not do that. I'll write my 0.5 here. Okay. So this is not according to the scale, mind you. Fine. So at 2, what should happen? 0.5 to the power 2. It's 0.5 into 0.5. It's 0.25. Let me write my 0.25 here at 2. Then what's happening? Then we have at 3, 0.125. Isn't it? So 0.125 is what we have. Then after this, what is the signal that we're going to have here? So it will be lower than that. So this is what is your 0.0625 or something it will come. So this is your 0.5 to the power n. Okay. Now I need to multiply this by 8. What I need to do? I need to multiply this signal by 8. Okay. So let's do that now. Everybody just see, you can just drag it down a little bit more because I need to hit 8 there. Fine. So I'm planning to have 0.5, 8 into 0.5 to the power n, okay, into u of n. Into u of n I'll have because it says 0 to infinity. Okay, here on this side also you have the components, mind you. On this side also you have the components when it is 0.5 to the power n. But on this side I'm not interested. Fine. So at 0 you have a sample of amplitude 8 because you are multiplying this 1 by 8. Then you are multiplying this 0.5 by 8. So you will have 4 at 1. Then 0.25 is having 2 at 2. So at 1 you have 4. At 2 you have 2. Right? Then what is 0.125? 8 into 0.125. What is it? 1? Okay. So that's 1 at 3. Okay. Then 0.5 at 4. So this is how the things go. So this is the signal. Fine. So this is your x of n. This is your x of n. Fine. So 8 into 0.5 to the power n ranging from 0 to infinity. That's why it's given dot dot dot. On the left hand side, it's not given dot dot dot. Here I gave dot dot dot. The first signal I gave dot 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 because I had not multiplied this by u of n. Since I have multiplied this by u of n, now here you will not have any signal. So this is what it is. Fine. Now what we need to do, everybody see what is that we are supposed to be doing now. So again, you should understand we are doing the even signal and odd signal sketch in discrete time. So it's half x of n minus half x of minus n, half x of n, sorry, this is plus, yeah, I understand, and minus half x of minus n. So it's adding here in even and subtracting here in odd. So which two signals do we need to obtain even and odd? We need half of x of n and the reflection of that. Okay, so let's get ready with that. Yeah, so let's have half x of n. Fine. So how is that going to look like? Everybody sketch that. We'll have 4 here at 0. Then we have 2 at 1, 1 at 2, then 0.5 at 3.
The chairman of
0.25 at 4. This is what is the signal. Everybody understand that? Now let's have the reflection of this signal. Everybody, let's have the reflection. What is that? We need what? Half x of minus n we need. Fine. So whatever is at 0 will be at 0 because 0 minus 0 is 0. Fine. Then we have just take whatever is at 1 should come at minus 1, whatever is at 2 should come at minus 2, whatever is there at 3 should come at minus 3, and whatever is there at 4 should come at minus 4. So this is what one should understand. Okay, so this is how the signal is going to look like. This is 4, 2, 1, 0.5 and 0.25. So you have two signals now. Let's call these two signals as our first signal and second signal. Fine. So what is our x even of t to begin with? What is x even of t to begin with? Everybody, see here, from -4 to -1, nothing is there. Okay, so if we add this first signal and the second signal, we are going to get x even of t. Fine. So that means, so here you have nothing from -4 to, that means minus infinity to -1, you have nothing. So 0 plus these samples would be the same samples. Yes or no? So you'll have the same samples here. Say at 0, what is happening? Let's see. First 0, you have 2 samples. At 0, you have 4 here. At 0, you have 4 here. So 4 plus 4 would be 8. So get that 8 first. So this is 8 at 0. Then 2 at -1 will be like this. Then 1, then 0.5, then 0.25. Okay, this keeps happening. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4. Understand that? So this is 8, 2, 1, 0.5, 0.25. On one side you'll have this, on the other side also you'll have the same thing, because here you have these samples and here you don't have any samples at 1 2 3 4. So whatever is there at 1 2 3 4 up to infinity, the same samples will remain on the right hand side of the even signal, because it's 0 samples here and here you have some samples. So these samples plus 0 would get you the same samples. So this is how it is going to look like. So it should be symmetric. Okay, your even signal is a symmetric signal, mind you. Okay, if you fold, it should exactly go and overlap onto the signal on the other side. So this is 2 1.5 and 0.25. So this is how the even signal can be plotted. Now can you get me the odd signal? Start sketching the odd signal, everybody. Start sketching the odd signal. So getting odd signal is doing first signal minus the second signal. So first signal minus the second signal means at 0 what is there? At 4 and 4 you have. So 4 minus 4 would be 0. So at 0 you don't have any sample, mind you. Now on the left hand side, okay, in the first signal you have all zeros. In the second signal you have 2 1. So what would happen? 0 minus these samples. 0 minus these samples means we need to have the negative of these samples. So that means the 2 will become minus 2, 1 will become minus 1. Understand that? So that needs to be written here. 2 will become minus 2. Fine. 1 will become minus 1. 5 will become minus 0.5. 0.5 will become minus 0.5. Minus 0.25. So this is how it looks like. Minus 0.25. Minus 0.5. Minus 1. Minus 2. Okay, at 0 we don't have any sample. And what is happening on the right hand side of these two signals? So you have in the first signal you have these samples 2 1 0.5 0.25 on, and here on the right hand side you don't have anything. So these samples minus 0 would give you the same samples. Okay, so on the right hand side you will have these. So this is how it is going to look like. Okay, this is 2 1 0.5 then 0.25. So this extends here and this extends here. So this is x odd of n. Mind you, always the 0th sample in odd signal would be what? 0. Note 0th sample of odd signal okay, is 0. So 0th sample of an odd signal is 0. That is quite visible here. But if you take the continuous time signal that we had seen in the previous case, see here, this is the odd signal, but you don't see 0 here at t equal to 0. What does that mean? It means that you have plus 0.5 and minus 0.5, right? So if you take the algebraic sum of whatever values are there, again that becomes 0. So it's 0.5 minus 0.5. If this is 1, this is supposed to be minus 1. And it so cannot happen that if this is 1, this would be minus 0.5. No. And it does not happen that if this is minus 1, this would be 0.5. No. Okay. So the values at t equal to 0 would be such that the algebraic sum of these values should give you 0 at t equal to 0. Okay. So you should understand at t equal to 0 or n equal to 0, the odd signal will have a 0 value. Okay, so that is what is visible here. So this is even signal and this is odd signal. Is that okay with you?